I believe it's safe to say that everybody who has ever loved someone has had a broken heart. And we know that, whether it's your child going through this or yourself going through this, friends and loved ones will tell you, no, you'll get through this. It hurts. It hurts so bad, but you will get through this broken heart. But broken trust is different. And I have a lot of clients come in after a form of betrayal, and they're asking me, can we make this work? Can we ever restore our trust? Can I ever personally trust him or her again? Now, yes, you can, but it does take a process and it takes understanding. I have 10 steps of what I would like to give you today about how to rebuild trust. And these are examples of what things that I know as a therapist will help you, questions to ask yourself. So it will be helpful if you make a commitment now and set your intention that you're going to work to rebuild trust. That doesn't mean that you're going to just go gung-ho and try to make it work or force something that isn't there, because trust is really difficult and it takes years to rebuild, and it has to begin with you. So the first one, understand exactly what broke the trust. Trust isn't lost in a vacuum, and usually even if it's a betrayal, there's other things along with that, such as repeated inconsistency, emotional unavailability, hurtful patterns, or a lack of repair when rupture happened. This matters because naming exactly what it was, what it is, will help you know the areas that need strengthening. If you just go into it blindly and say, well, you betrayed me, there's a lot of different ways. Was it inconsistency? Was it they were never available? Did they, fall through before? They didn't show up for you? You have to name it to understand what you're trying to heal. Second, separate from the past from the present. Like when trust has been broken, the nervous system basically becomes hypervigilant. And it tells us, you start trust scanning. Is this safe? Will they hurt me? What's the catch? That's your brain trying to prevent you from having pain again. So when you're trying to heal, you have to ask yourself these two questions. Is this fear about my past, or is this a present threat? What is my brain trying to signal to me now? A helpful prompt might be, is this about this person or about something that someone else taught me a long time ago? Rebuild the trust in yourself first. You can't fully trust another person if you're still doubting your own judgment, your ability to have boundaries, your ability to walk away, or your ability to see red flags, or your ability to choose yourself. So to rebuild the trust, you have to start keeping small promises to yourself. You need to say no when you need to. You need to notice green flags, not just the red ones, and you need to validate your intuition instead of overriding it. When self-trust strengthens, then relational trust also becomes safer to take a risk. The fourth thing is move at the speed of safety, not pressure. A lot of times after a betrayal, the partner who cheated will say, can we just get this behind us? No, you can't. You have to move at the speed of what your partner's feeling for safety is. Trust doesn't rebuild through urgency, only through consistency. If you're talking about trust, the other person has to be consistent every time, all the time, every time, all the time. There can't be lapses. Anytime there's a miscommunication, they don't show up, that's it. You're going to go back to square one. Does this person show up reliably? Do their actions match their word? Are they transparent? Can they repair when they mess up? Trust grows from patterns of consistency, not some kind of a love or whatever you say to them. Use micro trust moments. instead of trying to trust them fully all at once, because that will be overwhelming, look for small moments. They follow through on a small plan. They acknowledge your feelings. They're open instead of being defensive. They stay in the conversation with you, even if they're triggered. Think of trust like a muscle. Micro repairs create macro healing. So it's all of these moments they put themselves in. Even though they're uncomfortable, they're going to stay with you so you can rebuild trust and start feeling safe again. Express your needs openly. And this is very difficult for a lot of people. So I'm going to say it again. It's important that you're direct and honest. You know, broken trust often creates unspoken rules. And those unspoken rules might sound like, don't get too close, don't need anything, don't show vulnerability. To rebuild trust, you need to communicate your needs clearly so the other person can hear. And you don't need to apologize. You don't need to say, I'm sorry, I'm so needy. If you need them, and you need to acknowledge that and stand up for yourself. I need more transparency. I need more reassurance when I get triggered. I need you to follow through. I need honesty, even when it's hard. People can only meet needs that they hear and understand. Allow yourself to be seen again. I think trust is rebuilt by monitoring. Trust is not rebuilt by monitoring someone else. It's rebuilt by letting yourself be known, letting yourself matter, and letting yourself be vulnerable in a safe way that you're okay with. Start small. You know, share a thought, a worry, a fear, or a hope, and see how your partner responds. Learn what feels safe by what it feels like. Trust isn't just a thought. It's a body feeling. You can feel it. And safety feels like breathing. Your breath is softening. You're not holding on. You're not clenching. Your shoulders drop. Your heart rate is slower. You have a sense of, I can be here. I'm safe. I can be here. If your body feels in a threatening mode, then trust will feel almost impossible. So this is why you can't get back with someone who has threatened you. It's impossible. You can't trust them again. Your body can't let go. The repair of trust is more important than perfection. Acknowledge the hurt. Validate the experience. Take accountability for what happened. Shift behaviors and show consistency through follow-through. Repair is where the trust grows, and consistency is the repair. Shift from will I get hurt again to can I handle it if I do? And this is the final one. It's so important. Once you say, even if they fall short on their character, I'm going to be okay. Now you know you trust yourself, and you are at a point where you'll be able to trust someone else. The deepest healing comes from realizing you don't need certainty in another person to trust them again. You need confidence in your ability to care for yourself, no matter what they do on their end. If this video is helpful for you, please subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much.